All right, so this year is we incorporated on, Val tells me, on September 18th, 2006. So Val said that should be a special occasion. I think it's just an excuse for her to buy cake.
And alcohol.
And alcohol. So what we want to do is go through a little bit about the 10 years. So our presentation was done by Angel. And what we're going to do is just go slide by slide through the years. The years really don't mean a whole lot, aside from some pictures and some data. And then so Kashev is going to be my Vanna White. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we started September 18th, 2006, we incorporated. Maureen was our first official employee because she set up the employees. Our global headquarters was in my house, in my 4th bedroom. And then our first call was actually just by accident. Somebody called us by Mezzo. And we were toying around with different names, and we had used the name called Clark, and so we had a conference call with these guys, and then they called back again, and they said, "Hey, who was that Clark guy that we were talking about?" So our logo was actually designed by Debbie. So it's the orange globy thing. And so we still use that today. So what we're doing on this presentation is we've got different, no, stay back there. Okay, Vanna. So on this one is a 2006. So we've got various people that are still with us and some that aren't with us. And so we put some pictures up there so everybody could see. And the most impressive one is Scott Hoffer in the whatever the heck that is you're wearing. And then John Quirk, who looks like a baby there. Okay, go to 2. And then, so our first services that we had was custom brokerage and our transborder logistics service that we did. Let's go to slide 2. And then we started off with 4 employees, Maureen, John, Daryl, and me. And then we have some other pictures of what people look like. And many of the new employees won't know, but on Renee's birthday, she always used to dress up like a princess. So Renee up in the top right-hand corner, 2 over, she would come and she'd either have a halo on or she would wear a tiara every birthday that she had. And we'd have signs all over throughout the office going, Renee's birthday, and she dressed something about being a princess every time. So we moved in 2007, Maureen and I found a wonderful office on Stevenson Road, which means nothing to anybody except it's about 1 million miles from here, and you couldn't get further outside the city almost. And it was in a little wee 2-office, little alcove area, and we had 2 dock doors. And so we thought that was really good because Daryl had closed this massive account that would have a pallet every 2 weeks, so we needed a dock door to receive it. Of course, Daryl also said that it was going to be about 200 pallets a day, so some things change and some things don't. So in March, we started, what I had was I was under a protection with, I couldn't go and solicit business from my previous employer, but that expired in February. So what started end up happening is as soon as that happened, I started recruiting a whole bunch of employees. So we got Renee, Angie, who once again, there's a picture here where you look like a baby, and David Smith, who was recently with us, a few other people that were with the company. So we got them as soon as my time expired with my non-solicitation. And then we started going after getting accounts. So we went after and got a whole bunch of accounts. We used A.D. Rutherford to be our custom broker because we didn't have a license. When we got Renee, her first job was to find herself a computer because we didn't have one. So we were literally the little up-and-comer that would come along and do something. So what we did was, is we would have a contest because we were closing a whole bunch of accounts when we started. So Renee started a contest. What we did as a custom broker is you sent out a cancellation to the previous party or the previous broker. So I'd go out and sell, and I'd bring back these cancellations, and then Renee would have a contest to see who could send them out to Livingston because no one liked Livingston at the
Yeah,
time.
we fought over who could do it.
Still don't.
Yep, and we still don't. So then in 2007, John and Daryl, they moved into they had a guy that they knew, which moved into some little office on top of a great big warehouse. And so our massive headquarters in Toronto was 2 offices that weren't even ours. David Smith, who recently just left us, he started up our Emerson operation in an abandoned store, and the floor went like this. So it was abandoned eventually. So some of our clients, some of these are some of still of the pictures that we have, and then you sort of see the clients that we've got. So in 2006 we had nothing. And then in 2007 we slowly progressed. You can't really see the numbers that well, but as they go up, we had about 200 until we bought Parcels and More and the Brandon Company, and so now we're at close to 1,500 customers, so a bit of a progression. But it's always been a steady increase. In 2008, to continue with my story about where we came from, we had there was a recession that occurred in 2008, and so we were at a point where we were going, oh my God, no one's importing, and we thought, geez, we might be going under. And so luckily we happened to close Case New Holland and Federated Co-op, who are still with us today, and they sort of saved our bacon, and we went from there. Also in 2008, we recruited Mr. Vincenzo DiBernardo, who's over doing something else. But on Vince's first day, we moved from, he had to walk into Stevenson Road, and he had to pick up boxes and start moving because we were moving to another location. So our lead IT guy actually got to lift boxes rather than do anything else. 2000, and so our 2 big locations were in Winnipeg and Toronto, and you can see some of the pictures that we've got that are, the one at the bottom was when we were in Fennel, the bottom slide picture was for the folks that weren't with us in Fennel. We used to go. We also we had one time we'd have barbecues, and we did a rock concert in there with some of the IT guys, and it was pretty good actually. And we broadcast it to all the offices. So we'll go to the next one. So then in 2009, we split up offices. We went from Stevenson Road to McDermott, and Renee went and got us changed over from another custom broker service provider over to Summit because the company we were with were killing us with fees. So we moved over to Summit, and their pricing was way more affordable. Ed and David started, if people remember, well, Ed obviously, but David Durockney was with us too, and they were our night shift. So we had 2 guys doing all of our night clearances. So some of the offices that we've had over a period of time have been my house, Stevenson Road, McDermott, Fennel, Hervo. In Toronto, we were at Calderi Road, Viceroy. Itasca, we've never moved. And then Seattle, we've been at a couple different locations already. There are some pictures up there. There's Nicole up in the top right-hand corner. And then Debbie is in the bottom right-hand corner, if everybody can see from the other offices. And I think that's Val in the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
You look like a baby too. So then we've got Renee up in the middle, and other events that we've had. We've got Barecki, who I'm still amazed is still with us. So those are, go to the next one. So then in 2010, some of our big accomplishments, and I'm going to forget a bunch of stuff, is 2010 we started our Frontship application because our website was kind of annoying, and what we used to do to process parcels is now today we barcode everything, so parcels come in, they're labeled, they're barcoded, but what we used to do is I would